Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Tokyo Tropic Turtles Draft to Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 24. So in last episode we had the year 9 offseason, and we got Yamazaki re-signed on a great contract, which I am very excited about. So we do have a lot of our core kind of locked up between our three pitchers, Iwamura, Jung Nguyen, and also now Peter Yamazaki as our top catcher slash batter. Last season, he batted a .292, so I'm hoping for a big year from him. So far this season, he's been off to a good start with a .310 average. So I'm hoping, obviously, he could have maybe over 300 average this season. If not, hopefully he'd at least post similar numbers to what he did last season. And yeah, this team is starting to actually win some games. We simulated the first 8 games of the season, and we're 5-3 so far. So this could be potentially our best season yet. Obviously, last year we had 47 wins, I think it was. 48 wins. So I'm expecting our team to probably get at least into the 60-win range. So we're starting to finally get that team to where we want to be. Obviously, we're still looking for some missing pieces, though, because eventually we're going to start losing guys to retirement and such, too. And obviously, if we lose a big player like that to retirement eventually down the road, it could make us really handicap in losing a bunch of our depth. So very excited though for the upcoming season, just to stimulate some games and see how our team actually does up until the actual draft itself. Also should be interesting to see what this draft class is looking like as we scout it out, because we have the first overall pick in this year's draft, so will be exciting to see what we should be able to grab with the first overall selection. We did look in the last episode, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a super strong draft class for us. However, there's at least a lot of batters, so we should be able to address some needs, but we probably won't be able to get a super stud player out of this draft. But you never know, maybe some of these guys develop into being very good players for us down the road. But anyways, let's get in your guys' comments now and see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we will get into simulating up to the draft and seeing how our team does in the first little bit of the season. So the first comment is from Dylan Burrows, who says, I would put whoever has high clutch with power in the 4, 5, 6 spots in the lineup. Clutch will be active when runners are on second or third instead of the contact per side. 68 win prediction. Also, if you could check Mata in the draft class, please. And yeah, I think 68 wins is definitely attainable for this team, just based on the gap that we had between 2031 and 32 was a 21 win increase. So I think we could definitely increase our wins by 20 this season, considering guys are developing in the right way. We're starting to get that pitching rotation obviously good, and then we're starting to get some good batting as well. So expecting for a big year from this team, and 68 wins I think is definitely attainable. It would be nice if we could somehow hit 70, but I think that might be a bit of a stretch. And he was mentioning about the lineup potentially having some guys in the 4, 5, 6 spot with better contact or better power and clutch. Right now, we have Nomo in that spot, which I think is a good player to have in that spot because he's got fantastic power against right-handers, and he's also got some decent clutch. It's not the most insane clutch, but not a lot of guys on our team have that crazy clutch stat. Also, Raymond Park's in a pretty good spot with that as well, because he's also got good power and clutch. His clutch is a 50. It's not super high, but it's better than some other players on our team. And then also David Sasaki also has really good power. So these three guys should be able to bring in some good power. And also they all have similar clutch ratings. So I'm hoping that could help us out in terms of driving in some runs. And he said also about checking Mata in the draft class. I did look at Mata, and unfortunately he's actually not an Asian player. I don't even know if I really wanted to scroll all the way to him. I don't remember when he's supposed to go. I think it was over 100. But I believe he was from, like, Dominican Republic or something like that. If I could find him, I might have already skipped by him, but I just want to see if I could find him just to show you guys. But I'm pretty sure he was, like, from a South American place or, like, Caribbean area. Let's see, can I find him? Oh yeah, there he is, Eddie Mata. As you can see, this guy, he's from Dominican Republic, so unfortunately he's not Asian, but it was worth the try. The next comment is from Nick Buckner Barons OC, who says, just pick whoever is best. Again, another mid-draft, but batters at least. And yeah, at least it's a batters draft. If it was like a pitching-heavy draft again, that would kind of suck, because we already have really good pitchers, so obviously drafting players of need, like positional players, is a nice thing about this draft class, but obviously we're not going to get a super stud player. The best player that we're likely going to be taking with our first round pick, depending on his overall, is Lawrence Matsui, who could be a 99 potential, but obviously we do need to scout him out fully to decide if he's actually that good. But we do need second base help too, so I'm hoping that Matsui is actually really good. And the last and final comment is from Xavi Ronaldo, who says, "Lol, I give up," and it's because I was doing the contract stuff incorrectly again. Nicely from him though, he decided to upload a YouTube clip of how basically to actually do the contract thing, and now I kind of understand actually how to do the contract thing, so I won't actually have to worry about doing the contract thing incorrectly. I would show you guys, but there's no way I could even give contracts right now. But basically what I do is I go to max amount of money almost, or tell his interest really heavily 1 year, and then eventually change the year up to or the years up, and then I go to actually 1 year up, and then I go to full interest again, and keep on doing that, so to speak. I think that's how it was. Anyways, let's get into scouting out this draft class and seeing how this team does. I'm hoping that this team can stay off to a good start. It's been a pretty good stretch so far this season. We haven't lost back-to-back games so far, so would be nice to see if this team could kind of stay close to 500 in this episode. But obviously, I don't think they're going to. I think they're definitely going to have those weeks where they lose every single game like they've done since the beginning. Okay, so let's get into scouting. So we have our same scouts as normal. So I think everybody's going to do individual players this year. I don't really think the discovery thing has been working well for us. I could do the discovery maybe still, because there is maybe more options out there. But I don't think he's going to be obviously the number one priority. So we're probably going to use Lamb as the discovery person again. Chavez is going to be on pitchers. And then Alicia Holcomb will be on positional players. So positional players are obviously the number one thing in this draft. So I think we will have Alicia Holcomb on the number one priority. And obviously our number one priority scouting out right now is that second baseman, Lawrence Matsui. So we'll see if he's actually good or not. And if he actually still has 99 potential, we've got to definitely scout him out for one extra week afterwards just to guarantee that he actually has that potential, if I remember correctly. And then in terms of the other ones, obviously Chavez will go to pitchers, which I don't think there was a ton of pitchers that were Asian descent. I think they were all later in the draft, like relief pitchers, if I remember right. So we have to probably scroll for a little bit here before we find the first one. But I hope that some of these players in this draft are actually good, because obviously last year's draft was probably one of the worst ones we've had. So obviously it would be nice to get one of these drafts that actually impact our team quite a bit, like the early stages. Oh yeah, this is another guy I want to definitely scout out, is Michael Chen as a right fielder, because we could use some outfielding help. So definitely he's going to be a guy that gets scouted out as well. William Bayek's a second baseman, so we'll get him scouted out at some point too. But where is the first relief pitcher? Do we even need to scout relief pitchers? Because Chavez is actually good with positional players as well. You know what? We're not going to scout a single pitcher right now. I'm going to lock in on position players right now. So let's go to the next best positional player, and we will just do that for the top two priorities. Because I think obviously our top priorities is to bring in non-pitchers in this draft if their potentials are good. We will probably have to scout out some relief pitchers at some point, but not right now, because we obviously have a lot of pitchers on this team already, so we got to address our needs kind of. So let's get Michael Chen scouted out, and then Samuel Lamb. We'll discover some new prospects, and we will probably go to infield as well, and we'll probably start at international. We'll change to outfield international, and then maybe I'll change from the regions over to the West and all that. So let's see if we can discover some new prospects. If we can't discover really any new prospects, we might eventually just put everybody on individual players, because it seems like the discovery hasn't really worked in our favor too much. We're discover more Canadians and stuff like that, but never a lot of Asian talent. So let's go. We can see if our team could win some more games. And it looks like we're going to maybe lose every game this week, as Taguchi has got a flexor strain, at least only out for a few games. And we do lose every game that week, as Richard Chen has a shin contusion. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, as I was expecting our team to definitely fall off at some stage, we lose every game that week. Not a lot of offense for our team, but our team did keep a lot of games somewhat close, though. So at least that's positive. Because look at that, 4-3 loss, 4-3 loss, 5-2 loss, 5-4 loss, 9-4 loss. That 7-1 loss obviously not great, and that 9-4 one, but a lot of those games were decently close, so we could have won some games that week, but we didn't. All right, so Matsui so far at 40% scout, it is still looking decent. He's looking like he could be a high overall, but he also could be a low one. So we'll definitely keep getting him scouted out. Michael Chen so far is looking okay too. Liking that. And we did discover a new prospect. Hopefully it's an Asian. Let's see. Dwayne Rios. Probably not. Nope. Puerto Rico. It's always like Puerto Rico or Dominican. Like we never seem to find guys from Asian countries. It's always like Dominican, South America, Canada. Sometimes you get like Germans and such as well, but we never seem to discover actually things we could use, which kind of sucks. So that's why I'm thinking at some stage maybe we won't even do discovery at all. But hoping this week we could find some people. There's a couple wins this week, which is nice. A couple more wins. Wow, okay. And Parker Ramirez bruised his arm, which kind of sucks, but at least it's only for a few days. But what a week from this team. After we lost every game during the week in the prior week, we win a total of 5 games out of 7. 3-1 win, 8-3 win, 3-1 win there, 2-1 win, and a 2-1 win. Our pitching is definitely a strength with this team, because we are not really scoring a ton of runs in these wins, except for like this 8-3 win. But we are definitely playing pretty good defensively, it seems like, right now, which is great. All right, scouting update. Matsui, he's still looking usable. Like, he could definitely be our best second base prospect. So, I don't mind it so far. I hope that he's not a 70 potential, because that would kind of suck. Michael Chen so far is looking okay as well. More of a defensive outfielder, it seems like, but we'll keep getting him scouted. And we did discover 2 new prospects. Are they Asian? Yes, one is. Okay, of course, because I said we never discover them. We do find one, Chang Ho Chu. What a name. We got to definitely get Chang Ho Chu scouted out. He could be actually really good, because that overall says 37 to 70. And then potential could be 66 to 99. And he's a shortstop too, which is something we could potentially use. I mean, we have a lot, but Chang Ho Chu could be really, really good. So I'm definitely going to get him scouted out after we get these guys fully scouted. So that's definitely a very interesting player development. Our scouts have him at 59 right now. Okay. We'll definitely get him scouted out next week. But so far, we're actually discovering prospects, so that's good. Because normally, there's like weeks where we don't discover anybody, which is really weird. Okay, let's go another week and see if we could win some more games after a good week. We're winning 2 more games. Parker Ramirez is back. Let's go auto-utilize, because that should throw him just right back in. A little bit of a down week, obviously, after a good week, but still 2 wins out of 6 games. I will take it. All right, so 12-15 on the season after our first month. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And these guys are fully scouted out, so Matsui's looking good. But I don't know if he'd be a high pick first overall, but he's still looking decent. Like, he should have an okay starting overall at 18, and then he should have, like, between a C and a high B potential. So, definitely more of a defensive second baseman again, but that's okay. Michael Chen so far is looking kind of average. Like, he should have a low overall, but he might have a B potential too. He's definitely more defensive, but that's okay, because obviously outfielders, their primary thing is pretty much defensive play. If they have good contact too, that's nice, but... okay. Well, let's put in our next prospects to scout out here. So the next one on our list here might be that shortstop that we were literally just discovered. I hope he's really good, because if we did discover somebody we actually could draft and is good, I will be really happy with that. Let me actually go to shortstops, because I want to see how high up he is. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he could be potentially one of the best shortstops in this draft class. So, you know what? We're getting him scouted out for sure. And then we'll change out this other prospect for whoever's next on the list, which honestly I have no idea who it is and what position it is. But let's just keep on scouting out these top players and hope that some of them actually are really good. Right now, Matsui probably would be the first round pick at the moment, but I'm hoping Chang Ho Chu is really good, because if he is, it would be very nice to get ourselves that definitive player we've been looking for. Okay, what do we else we got here? Ayala isn't Asian. There's probably one soon. Oh yeah, William Bayek as well. Might as well, because he actually looks like he could be decent. Like, he could be a really good starting overall, because it says 60 to 79. He might not be a high potential, but a high overall is good too, because he could outgrow that potential. Right now our scouts have him at 83rd, so we'll get him scouted out. and see if he's actually decent. We didn't discover anybody new that week, so I am going to change this to the outfield instead and see if we could discover some outfielders, and hopefully we could find some more Asian talent to potentially scout out. All right, let's go another week and see if this team could get above 500 this week or close to 500 again, because right now it's been a bit streaky, but at least we're definitely going to have our best season this year, I think, at this rate. Leonard Sato has been injured with a shoulder strain, out for 1 to 2 weeks. Well, that's not great considering he's one of our best relief pitchers, but we will go auto on that as well. And okay, we started the week off with 2 straight losses, which isn't great, but then we had 3 straight wins, all of them pretty good offensive games for our team, and then we lost the last one of the week 4-1. Not bad. So we're 15 and 18. This team is actually maybe not going to be the worst team in the league. I think I said that during the offseason. But I think we might not end up finishing as the number 30 or whatever the heck team. Yeah, the 30th team in the league. I think we're going to finish like 29th or 28th this season, which is pretty damn exciting. So Chang Ho Chu so far looking decent. He also could be a project player. I hope that he stays in the draft class, because if he doesn't, that would be kind of dreadful, but oh well. William Byek so far is looking okay, actually. Yeah, he's going to be a really good starting overall, I think, because it says 64 to 76 now, and his contact hitting looks phenomenal. His vision and discipline looks pretty solid. His defensive play looks okay, too. Good speed, good stealing. Like, he could definitely outgrow that potential, even if it's a low potential, and he could easily become, like, a decent player. Like, 76 overall at 70 potential. I think that would be nice, because then he's usable right away as well for our lineup as well. Like, he can literally jump right to the MLB and give us something we need. We did discover 2 new prospects. Any Asians? Let's see. Fernando Gonzalez and Ken Rudolph. No. Ken Rudolph from Mexico, though, of course. And this guy's Mexican, too. Okay. Unfortunately, we cannot draft them, but that's okay. Maybe next year we should do, like, a Mexico one or something like that, or South America, or I don't know. I feel like that might be even tougher than Asians, but never know. Let's go another week and see if we can win some more games. Wanyang Chang has been injured with a broken nail. Out for a day or two. We'll go auto on that. Leonard Sato is back. Let's go auto utilize, because that should throw him right back in. And Chang is back too. What a week for the team. We are 500 now. We're 20 and 20. Wow. I'm actually shocked that this team's staying right around 500, because I thought we were going to drop off out of nowhere. But another really good week for this team. 5 wins out of 7 games. It started off a little bit bad considering we got shut out in back-to-back games to St. Louis, but then we beat them 14-9, so that's a huge offensive game. Then we win 5-0 on shutout, 6-5 there, and 4-0 on shutout there. Wow. This team is the 3rd best team in the AL West at the moment, and we're not too far back of the Astros, who literally signed the best player in the league in Steve Cortez. So that's pretty insane. I wonder what the player stats are looking like. I hope they're looking great. Chang Ho Chu is looking really good so far, potentially. Ooh, yeah. I like it. I like it. He's definitely more of a defensive player, but that's what most shortstops are. He might have some good contact, too, on top of that. And then William Byek so far is definitely exactly kind of what we expect. He's going to be a high overall, low potential guy, but that's something I would definitely be willing to take. Like, his contact hitting isn't insane, but it's definitely usable in the future, so I like William Byek a lot. I like him a lot. Who did we discover this week? Rafael Acevedo from Venezuela. Damn. Okay. Well, let's change out William Byek, because he's 100% scouted now. And let's see who else we get scouted out this year. But this is a promising team. The fact we're 500 right now, we have the 1st overall pick this year. This team could be definitely having a window of opportunity to make the playoffs relatively soon, which is definitely surprising to me, but we are definitely building up that pitching rotation to help us out a lot, and in our offense, if it plays good, will help us win games as well, because I didn't expect 20 wins in our first 40 games, because what was it, Dylan's prediction was 68 wins. I think we could definitely get even maybe more than that at this rate, but who knows, we could still fall off completely. So not going to give my hopes up too much, but I think this team's definitely going to have a really good year this year based on that. Like, we almost have as much wins as we did 2 seasons ago. Because 2 seasons ago we had 27 wins. Last year we had 48. So We are definitely trending in the right direction. Okay, so Richard Bong is the first relief pitcher. I guess I'll get him scouted out, sure. Because this is the guy that normally scouts out pitchers anyways. And he could be a decent reliever, so might as well get him scouted out. And then Chang Ho Chu. Right now our scouts are thinking this guy's a top 10 pick, but he is not projected to get drafted still. So I really hope Chang Ho Chu goes in this draft and doesn't disappear, because if he disappears, I will be kind of upset, because I think he might be worth the top pick at the moment. In terms of discovering new prospects, do we want to edit this? Yeah, let's set it to West, because maybe there's more Asians in the West, because you always have Asians in California and such. So that's my hope, that we could discover some new Asian talent in the West. So, but right now I'm really impressed with how this team's done and how our draft is going to potentially look at release right now. Let's go another week here and see if we could get above 500 potentially even. Yamamoto has been injured for a few days. Let's go auto on that. Skip that because we don't care too much about transactions. Nguyen has pulled his leg muscle. That sucks, but at least it's a few days only. Yamamoto is back. We'll auto-utilize. Our team is currently above 500 as Kaz has been injured with a pulled hamstring. At least he's not in the MLB yet, but 1 to 2 weeks for him. That kind of sucks. And Stan is back too, which is great. And we are above 500 officially, 24-22 on the season as we win 4 more games that week. 5-3 win there, 9-1 win there, 7-3 win there, and an 8-5 win over Houston. Wow. This team is 3 games back of the top team in the AL West. I like it. Our pitching has jumped up to 13th from 17th at the beginning of the season. We don't even still have the best power game and contact game, but we're definitely playing great, which is really surprising. That pitching is doing us wonders. Chang Ho Chu is looking really good. Really good. Like, even if he's a 50 at 18 with 94 potential, that's decent. I just really hope he enters the draft class, because if he doesn't, that's not great. His interest is pretty low still, so I should probably try and get his interest higher still. But if he disappears from the draft class, it won't matter that much. Let's just keep him as the top priority for 1 more week, just because of that. And then Richard Bong is so far is looking like a pretty good reliever. Might have a high overall, low ceiling. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is actually looking like maybe an okay draft class, in a sense. Like, it's not going to be the most insane thing in the world, but it's looking decent. Let's go another week and see what we got. Are we going to stay above 500? Taguchi's been injured again. That's okay because he's not in the MLB anyways. Auto on that. Auto on that. And apparently AA doesn't have 2 valid lineups. Let's go here. Wow, a lot of hot guys on our team apparently. AA, let's see. We need to put in a left fielder, it looks like. Yep, left fielder. So we'll get Chris Price into that spot. And that's good. Perfect. That should be fine. Let's go back here. Do we win our last game of the week? No, we do not. But we are still above 500, 27-25 on the season. Wow. Was not expecting that. We are second last in our division, though. So our division's really strong. That's the one thing not going good for us right now in terms of making the playoffs. But still, this is definitely steps to build upon for next season. We might have some award winners this season, too, which is very exciting. Okay, so Chang Ho Chu, he got his interest up by 3% more. That's good, but he might not even be in this year's draft. I don't even know. Let's take out him now and see what else we got here in terms of Asian talents. That's actually an infielder. I think there was more in the later stages, so hoping that we could find some more so we could actually draft them. And I don't even know if we discovered anybody this weekend and see that, so I'll have to take a look at that too. But the discovery thing seems to work occasionally, but most of the time it does not work that well, which is kind of frustrating, but oh well. I still do like William Bayek a lot as a high overall, low potential guy. I think he's definitely going to be a good one just to give us some depth at second base. So, okay, where is another Asian player to draft? Oh, Javier Do. Oh yeah, this guy, the first base. Actually, no, he's not. Javier Do's Cuban. I thought he was an Asian guy at first. Oh boy. Okay. Well, it's the next one. And Michael Chen, we've already scouted you. John Zito's not Asian. Oh, yeah, Bill Bone. Bill Bone from New York, I think. No, maybe not. Nah, he's white. You could just tell. Richard Cho, the relief pitcher. I don't know. Want to really scout out more relievers, though. But he's supposed to get drafted. Is there anybody else first that I could scout out here? William Fong, another relief pitcher. I'm just kind of scared that some of these guys that we're scouting out aren't even going to be in this draft. Oh, yeah, there's also Hitoki Yamaguchi. He definitely needs to be scouted out because he could be a high ceiling guy. So we'll get him scouted out. And Richard Bong will get eventually changed out probably for somebody else. What did we discover that week? Because we discovered Jerome Doherty from Arizona. No, thank you. We're looking for Asians from California or something like that. We'll go one more week on that same thing, and then we might change it up a bit again. Okay, 2 games this week. We lose the first one. Actually, there's more games this week, but they're starting the next month. And back-to-back losses where we got shut out again. So our offense kind of fallen off a little bit. We're now back to 500 again, as kind of expected. Last few games of the week. There's a 4-1 win. Nice to see that. 7-2 win. 5-2 loss. But then we shut out Texas 9-0. Wow. Wow. Okay. We're 30-28. We're maybe going to be a 500 team this year at this rate. But Richard Bong so far is looking okay. He's not going to be a high ceiling guy, really. But his overall could be decent. Looks like he might have really good hits per 9, which is nice. And be kind of balanced in the future. So I don't mind him, but obviously he's kind of a really late pick for this team. So let's change him out and see what else we got here. For maybe we'll do one of those other relievers. Because there was multiple relief pitchers in the late stages. So let's go through the back of this list. Kevin Hayashi, no thank you. We want to go through ones. Oh my goodness, I just burped while I was in the middle of talking. God damn. Let's go through the ones that are actually supposed to get drafted here first. Hamby's not anybody. There we go. Now we're back into scouted as well. Okay, William Fong could be worth scouting out. I think there was one other guy too. Oh yeah, Richard Cho. Let's get Cho scouted out first and see if he's decent. Right now, Yamaguchi might be a low overall, but have a high potential. So he might be worth the pick, but obviously he's a long shot to making the MLB, it seems like, in my opinion. And we'll change out this because this seems not to be working right now. We'll go outfield in the West, see if we can find any Asians. If not, we'll put it back to international again because we could always use international prospects. So, or we could always use Asian internationals at least. Auto on that. 3 losses in a row again. Yeah, this team's inconsistent, but that's okay. And 2 invalid lineups in AAA. So let's swap that over to AAA. And we need, let's see, first base, second base, third base. We have shortstop. It is going to be a right fielder. So Shane Sasaki back in the lineup. We'll get you in, and that is good. Swap back over to the MLB because I don't want to see the MLB player stats yet till the end of this episode. So there's a win at least during the week, but still a rough week for this team, only winning 1 of 5 games, or 1 of 6 games, my bad. 31-33 now on the year. Second worst in the division, but I'm still really impressed with how this team's been. Our pitching has jumped up to 10th ranked. So we need our other stuff to start picking up. Our power's jumped up to 20th. So we're starting to be a good power and pitching team. The speed, the defense, the contact isn't super good. So hopefully those could improve as well as time goes on. But not looking too good in those areas. Yamaguchi, yeah, he's probably going to be a guy that's maybe has potential. He could maybe not have any potential whatsoever. Because if he's still projected to get drafted, it makes me feel like he should have potential. But he could be a D potential guy. But somebody that we might have to be taking late. Richard Cho so far is looking like an okay relief pitcher. Maybe a 74 overall. So I'm hoping for a good overall from him. Because that would be useful. And we'll keep Yamaguchi getting scared out a little bit longer. We did discover a new prospect, Ruben Stoitz from California. Well, unfortunately, he's not Asian, but let's change this back to international, I think, just for the remaining weeks, because it seems like the American places aren't producing enough Asian kind of guys. So we'll go international. Do we need more catchers, really? Not too much, I don't think. Pitchers, we don't really need either. I could just look at just pitchers in general. Just look and see if there's any starting pitchers, even though we don't really need them. Because we've already done infielding and outfielding. Yeah, might as well just go to pitchers on that one at this rate. because I feel like we discovered all there is to potentially grab. Let's go another week and see what we do this week. There's a win to start it, but then we lose 2 straight games. Auto on that. And not the best week again, 4-2. We have fallen down to 33 and 37, but I think we probably won't finish as the worst team in the league. Just based on how the Mariners are playing right now. They're 12 games back. We're 8.5, so. And this team could still randomly cook out of nowhere. Yamaguchi, yeah, he's going to have an okay potential as an 18-year-old, but he's definitely a long shot, and he doesn't really have any future stats that look that great. Like, he's not going to be super good, but if we have to take him in the last pick because there's nobody else, we'll take him. And Richard Cho so far is still looking pretty decent, okay? We did discover 4 new pitcher prospects that are international. Cristobal Brito from Puerto Rico, Pedro Sanchez from Cuba, Israel Rodriguez from Venezuela, and Lorenzo Campos from Mexico. Of course, they're non-Asians, but, well. Okay. I guess we could keep these guys getting scouted for now. Actually, maybe change out Yamaguchi, I guess. And that other relief pitcher, maybe we could scout out him, but let's just see if there's anybody else that I was missing, because I don't want to miss out on somebody that was good. Like, Stanley Suzuki, we could actually get him scouted out. He could be decent. So we'll get him scouted out, because we could always use more infielders at first base and all that. And we'll go like a couple more weeks in this episode, but I've been liking the way this team is assimilating, it seems like right now. Another good week for this team, actually, now. 3 wins out of 6, so still a little bit inconsistent, but you're going to expect that with a young team like this. 36 and 40 on the year now. And yeah, I don't think we're going to finish dead last unless the Mariners, somehow have a really good stretch. We are now the 9th best pitching team. We're a top 10 pitching team in the league, yet we're a below 500 team. So yeah, we need to get that offense going for sure at this rate. But Richard Cho, looking decent. Probably a really good starting overall in my opinion, like maybe like a 60 something. But he's not going to have a high potential. Still decent guy to maybe draft late if we have nobody else. We did discover some more prospects again, so let's take a look at those first. Jake Connors. Oh, wow, that guy's going to be really good. Actually, that's a recommended draft prospect. Recently scouted Mario Chavez from Dominican Republic. Rahul Gutierrez from Dominican. Leo Aguero from Dominican. And there's an Asian, James Yu, but he looks like trash. Like, he looks like one of the worst players I've seen. But just because we don't have any starting pitchers scouted out, let's get him scouted out maybe for Richard Cho, because there's not really much else to scout at this rate. So we will just see if James Yu is actually better than that, but it looks like he's going to be a D potential or an F potential kind of guy. So let's get him scouted out, see how good he is. We'll keep that on pitchers, and we'll keep Suzuki getting scouted out longer. He could be a really good overall, too. Like, if he's an 80 overall, 76 potential, he's a good steal. But I don't know if he's supposed to get drafted or not, which kind of sucks. Well, let's do one more week of simulation in this episode, and then we'll take a look at some player stats and all that stuff, say the award leaders so far. Because I think this team's going to have some maybe award winners this season, depending on how some guys have been playing. A little bit of a rough week for this team so far. A couple more games. There's another win and a loss. Okay, so to end this episode, we are 38 and 44. It sucks that we fell off from being above 500, but still, this team's definitely doing really well in some areas, apparently, because we're now the 8th best pitching team. Our power has fallen back down to 21st. Speed is still not bad, but the contact and defense is something that's a little bit worrisome. All right, let's take a look at those prospects again that we scouted out so far. So Suzuki, yeah, Suzuki's going to have a good overall, I think. Based on some of the stats so far, he's only 75% scouted, but I think he's maybe worth a pick for sure if he's going to be in the draft. Yeah, he could be decent. And then James Yu is looking like really bad. Like, the only thing going for him is his stamina. And maybe pitch velocity. Yikes. Yeah, this is not a great player. I don't even know why I wasted time scouting on him, but there's probably nothing else. And Ivan Luiz is definitely not Asian, from Panama, and Lloyd Libby from Jamaica. Huh. All right. Let's take a look at what we've scouted out in this episode. And then, obviously, Next week, you guys could let me know what the schedule for the final week of scouting. And then we'll obviously get into that draft at that point. But let's see what we've scouted out, see what we potentially might take with the top pick this year. Who is projected probably the best? Chang-Ho Chu. If he's in the draft, I think we take this guy first overall. If he's not in the draft, obviously we lean towards whatever's next. But I think we should definitely try and get Chu's interest higher, just in case he does appear in the draft. Because, yeah, he looks like he could be a stud. But he also could be kind of average. So there is Chang-Ho Chu. If we do not draft him first overall because he doesn't appear, the next best player to take is probably Matsui or whatever his name was. Yeah, Lawrence Matsui. Yeah, he's likely the top pick if the other guy doesn't appear. Which, he's not super insane, but he's going to be decent enough. Does give us more depth at a position we don't have. So, Lawrence Matsui. And then the next best, according to this game, is... Let's see. Wait, was Mora Asian? And I didn't scout him out? No, he's from Cuba. Okay. Yeah, he's not Asian in. Wasn't too sure on that one. Where's the next best guy? Jeez. Yeah, this is not the best draft in terms of gaps. And the next one would be William Bayek, which I think I really like William Bayek based on his overall rating. But obviously, he's not a first overall pick-worthy player. But I definitely think we draft him because he's going to be a good starting overall, and he could probably help us almost right away. So there's William Bayek. The next closest after Bayek. Who is next? Also, if you see any Asians that I did not scout out, let me know, because I should probably scout them out in the final week as well. What else we got here? Javier Doe wasn't. I don't know why I keep on thinking he's Asian, but he's not. Oh yeah, Stanley Suzuki. He's not supposed to get drafted, though. That's an interesting one, but our scouts have him at 158. So I think we would draft him too at some point, but obviously not first overall. Who's the next after that? Michael Chen. Yeah, Michael Chen's another guy that probably would be drafting. Not a super high potential guy, but he could be still useful, and also we do need outfielders, so would give us a little bit more depth in that area. And then if we want to actually draft relief pitchers, because we don't really have anything else, Richard Cho looks like he's going to be a good starting overall, maybe low potential, but still one of those useful relief pitchers for our bullpen. And I think there's a couple other ones too. We didn't scout out William Fong, but I think we probably should scout him out next week because I think he's also the same. He's kind of similar in terms of high overall, low potential, it seems like, in my opinion. So him, and then there was also Richard Bong, who's pretty similar as well. Another 18-year-old, maybe a high overall, low potential. And then there's also Hitoki Yamaguchi, who we'd probably take lastly, who's probably going to have a good potential, but he's going to be a good project player. And I don't really know if he's going to develop into being much in terms of his future stats, but it would be more depth at third base, which is something we don't really have a ton of. So those are basically the players that are actually supposed to get drafted. We did not scout out Nori Oka yet at catcher. That's probably somebody that's worth scouting out just based on his potential range, but I don't think he's going to be super good. Because 21 to 55 overall at 18, he could be like a 36 overall with 54 potential. So we could scout him out, but I don't think he's going to be anything insane. There's also Michael Ling, who we didn't scout out. I didn't even realize him. First base. Maybe we should have not scouted out those relief pitchers then. Oh well. I don't think some of these guys are going to be first overall pick worthy, but they would be good for like depth purposes. Also, they might disappear from the draft class too, so it's a bit of a risk scouting them out. And I think that's probably it after that point. There's also Brian Bayek, so if we want a different Bayek, he could also be maybe decent. He looks like he could be good defensively in terms of shortstops, not shortstop, second baseman. It'll be interesting to draft both Bayeks, but this one's supposed to go undrafted, so I don't think we're going to even see him in the draft class, to be honest. And that's pretty much it, I think, at that stage, unless there's more back here. There's Jason Oka at shortstop. I don't know if he's worth scouting out, but another 18-year-old. So another guy that might be in the draft till he's like 21. But at least there's a lot of infielders, it seems like, to draft this year, which is good, but definitely not super strong. There's Michael Park as a starting pitcher to scout out at 19 years old. It could be a really high overall. Just based on the fact that he has a 38 to a 72 overall makes me think he's going to be a good starting overall. Huh. That might be worth scouting out too, but he's not supposed to get drafted, so he might even disappear. We've seen too many players disappear, so I wouldn't be surprised if he disappeared too. Jungwoo Ahn, we've seen this guy in the draft multiple times. I don't think he's worth scouting out, really. He isn't a left fielder, though. We do need outfielding help. But I don't think he's actually going to appear in the draft class. Kind of hope he does, but could be decent. Might be a high overall, low potential. Like, he could be a D potential as a 65 overall. That's my guess. James Yu obviously is complete trash, but he is 18. Is there anybody else? Kevin Hayashi is a relief pitcher. If we want to scout out more relievers, we could scout out him. But obviously our pitching is very good right now, so it's probably more about taking out the infielders, even if they might be trash. It just gives us more depth in those positions. Jeff Chick, what a name. I think that's pretty much it, right? Let's see. There's so much prospects on these lists now that I literally don't know if I've seen these players or not. Okay, there we go. So that is that. The final thing, the few things we got to do, take a look at some player stats, see who's going good for us right now. So let's actually start by going this to AA. I just don't want this episode being too long, but I want to take a look at some player stats. Holy crap. Tom Chen has been absolutely atrocious. He has a D potential in 48 overall, but he has been one of the worst pitcher prospects we've ever drafted. 3 quality starts out of 15 games. He's got an 8.51 ERA. Yikes. That's kind of nuts, considering Yamamoto as a reliever has been playing pretty solid. Irabu as well. Pete Quo. Yeah, it looks like the relievers, most of them, maybe not Nakamura, have been okay. Wong Yung Chang's been kind of bad, so maybe AA is just having a rough year. But youth for Tom Chen. It is Tom Chen's first year, so I don't know if we'd give him a downgrade really even, because it's his first year. In terms of AAA pitchers, Vincent Tan right now has been kind of mid, but he is winning games. 16 games started, 7 quality starts. Yeah, not the best for Vincent Tan, but he's been okay. Kaz has been kind of eh. Kenny Rabu has been okay too, but he's losing a bunch. Yeah, some of the prospects not doing too well. David Lim has been struggling, apparently. Tommy Wong's been okay by consideration to other players. Austin Choi has been good. Hiroyuki Yamada has been kind of bad, too. And then Vincent Chang, in his first year as a closer, he's actually looking decent. He is up to a 73 overall. 16 saves, and he has not blown one yet. So, Vincent Chang's been okay. Alright, and what about MLB pitchers? Because this should be interesting. Parker's got a winning record and a great ERA and a good whip. Parker up to a 94 overall at 27. 17 games started and 12 quality starts. His ERA is the best of his career right now. The whip is not the best of his career, but he is off to a really good start. The FIP suggests that he hasn't been as good, but I honestly don't know if I trust FIP all the time. Last year he was really good in terms of FIP, but looks like his FIP rating not as good this year, but his ERA and such suggests that he's playing good. Walter Jung, he's probably not doing too well. He's an 89 overall, which is fantastic, but a 7.8 record, 5.47 ERA, and a 1.57 whip. Not great. The quality starts suggest that he hasn't been good either. And then the FIP suggests, though, he's been good. So I'm a little bit conflicted. Like, when the FIP says that he's good, but the quality starts and then the ERA and such says that he's bad, which is it? And then Walter, oh my goodness, Stan Nguyen might be up there forever again. He might be up there for the Cy Young. He might be. Because to be a 7-4 record is fantastic. Obviously, he missed a lot of games due to injuries, so that might hurt him a little bit. But a 1.99 ERA through 11 games and 99 innings. And a 1.14 whip. 16 games started, 10 quality starts. How does the FIP look? 2.79. Holy crap, okay. So, yeah, Stan might be up there for the Cy Young this year. Even though he was injured, he could be. Stan is the man. He got paid and he's like, man, I'll deliver. Wow, what a man he is. Holy crap. I see you, Stan. I see you. And then probably our worst pitchers, David Nah. That's not too bad. I mean, his record's not great. The ERA is okay considering our team sometimes gives up runs. 7 quality starts is not bad either. The FIP is pretty bad though. Yeah, these two guys are a weak link for sure. And then Matsui's also been not good. We do have Tan though, and we do have Kaz we could call up at some point to replace these guys, because these two are definitely not super good. Yikes, yeah. These two have definitely been the worst of the bunch, and definitely been giving us a lot of losses. Walter Cho so far has been pretty good as a reliever. 2.87 ERA, 1.5 whip, 3-0 record. He is 30 years old now, which kind of sucks, but he's been good. Sato on a 429. He is 4-0. How does the FIP look? Really good. Really good. So I think he's actually been decent this year, despite having a higher ERA. Eric Yamamoto has been solid too. Yamashita's been really good too through 24 innings. Tom Koo has been fantastic again. Back to the reliever we know. Love to see it. Walter Lee has been solid too. And Philip Chung has been kind of bad as a closer, to be honest. But he is young, so... yeah, he's been kind of bad so far. He has blown 8 saves so far this season. And yeah, he's got a high ERA, high whip for a closer. His FIP is tragic. It's worse than last year. So I hope that Chung can play better soon, but he's definitely been not too good at closing out games so far. Like, I'm almost thinking Tom Koo would be better as a closer in that sense, but... so there is the pitchers. Let's quickly go through the batters as well. We'll start off with Double A. We'll kind of skim through the minor leagues a bit, but the major leagues is where I want to look the most. Actually, didn't want to go to pitchers' name. Let's see. So 214, 217, 281 for Russell Lim. So Russell Lim doing good. 253 for Taguchi. 218, 244. We do have also probably some injuries at the moment. So it looks like Double A not doing too good in terms of batting. Triple A, Theodore Lee is doing good. 261 average. Oka on a 227. I don't know about that. Taguchi on a 231. 249. Yabu on a 306. Yabu has been good, but he is already 26, which kind of sucks. But he could be still useful maybe at the major league level. His contact hitting is good. So... Tom Cho at 247, William Chung at 236. He does have 8 home runs this year and 29 RBIs. Which ain't too bad. Russell Yang at 315 as the DH, okay. And then Jeff Ishii at 237. Yeah, I'm not too impressed with the prospects, I would say, for the most part. Some prospects have been okay, but the prospects I think have been really struggling in Double A and Triple A this season. MLB-wise, Yamazaki batting at a 257. That's not ideal. His home run count is not doing too good. His RBI count isn't either. Oh, yeah, he's having a major downfall after last year. That's not ideal considering what we just paid him. And it's not even a backloaded contract. It's a straight contract. Yeah, we might have to reorganize the batting order a bit just to see if that could help him a bit. Kevin Sato's been fantastic. Go 303. That's good to see. He's on a nice little contract too. So at least Sato seems to be doing a good job. Tom Lee, he's been okay. He's been okay as well. Nomo has been really good. 18 home runs in his rookie season. He could be a Rookie of the Year candidate because of that. Like, 18 home runs in your rookie season is not easy. So, yeah, Charles Nomo has been a stud this year. Love to see it. Raymond Park on a 183 is not great, but he does have 13 home runs in his first season. So, a couple of guys bringing in some runs. Sasaki on a 6 home run, 200 average, 25 RBI season. Yokoyama has been good. 256 is okay. Wong on a 207 and Seo on a 253. Yeah, I would say we're definitely struggling in batting. Michael Fong on a 200, Nishi on a 261 has been really good off the bench. And then Takahashi on a 237. Brian Chu on a 172. And Walter Choi has been actually really solid in a sense. Like a 242 average isn't insane, but 7 RBIs through 33 at-bats. He's been not bad. Okay. So, if we look at the award leaders right now, as of this Let's see what we got here. No. Okay, so Stan Nguyen isn't going to potentially win a Cy Young because of the lack of games or something, but I would say he should be up there because of his ERA and all that, but damn. What else we got here? Yeah, Nomo is potentially going to be the rookie of the year, I think, easily. He also has 56 RBIs, too, which I didn't say. He's number one for rookie of the year at the moment, and then Raymond Park looks like he's up there as well, which is good. But, yeah, Nomo has definitely been carrying us offensively, I think, this season. Yamazaki up there for Gold Glove, potentially, but probably not going to win it. A little bit disappointed with the pitcher, or not the pitchers, the batters this season, but I was kind of expecting that to be our downfall this year. Like, let's look at the standings right now. Currently, we've given up 322 runs, which is not the most. Yeah, see, that's why we're actually good. We've scored 303 runs, which is the worst in this division. But we've also given up the second least amount of runs in this division. We're the second best defensive team behind the Astros. So we need to get that run support. Because if we could get that run support, we'll be in business. Like, our team average is a 235 average, which is very bad. And a 368 ERA is fantastic. So we definitely need batting help as fast as possible, or else that will be our downfall. And if we go over to the AL wildcard at the moment, we're 6 games back, though. So there is a chance this team could somehow make it into the playoffs, but I doubt it's going to happen just because of the lack of offense. But we are definitely, I think, not going to be the worst team in the league unless we lose every game remaining in the season, which is exciting. If we go to statistics here and team rankings, yeah, the average and stuff like that, we're definitely going to be like dead last, right? 29th, okay, so not dead last, but we're down there with the Orioles. But if we go to like pitching related stats, we are the third best pitching team in the entire league. And the Baltimore Orioles are first. So the Orioles and us are very similar teams right now. Both great pitching, but terrible offense. Like, if we had a good offense going for us right now, we would be maybe one of the best teams in baseball at the moment. At least that's my opinion. And our fielding percentage is also one of the lower ones too. So, yeah, us and Baltimore are very similar teams. Just kind of funny. Because we're both up there in like caught stealing and stuff as well. We did not score the least amount of home runs though this season. So even though we're a bad offensive team, we're scoring more runs than a couple teams. Mainly because of Nomo and Raymond Park and Tom Lee though. Especially Nomo. Like when he's leading the team on home runs in his first season, that's not ideal. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Tokyo Tropic Turtles Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the year 10 draft. We'll see if this team can get some more good prospects to help out the batting. Because obviously, if the batting was better, this team would be probably a playoff team this season, I think. But obviously, at least our pitching is definitely showing really good promise. And I'm very excited to see how it ends up finishing off the season. Send anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.